the comments on the side, which is pretty cool. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Norberto Alvarez, aka Canelo's #1 fan, and of course my lovely co-host Christine. And again, I want to apologize to the people. Christine has messed up the time for everybody for the
Ay,
next 2
ay,
weeks.
ay.
I got to put it on somebody. You have been killing me recently on your show. You know what I mean? So it's payback time. But Claressa Shields versus Remy. I can't not ignore this anymore. I tried to not talk about it, but these ladies are not allowing me to.
Getting into these women's business.
Yeah, we in it. This is
Norbs,
the shade room.
Norberto.
Shade room. Oscar says no to Devin versus Ryan, and more matches have been added to the Jake Paul Chavez fight. We're gonna get into that, after this. Now, again, I apologize, y'all. This is not going to be the longest show, but stay with us. We will be back on normal times, 10 o'clock. I think starting next week, is it, or the following?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's starting next week. But I have to check my calendar.
Well, I'm going to start at 10 o'clock, and then I'll work on Christine's schedule to give you guys bonus shows until.
But let me know if you are on my page. Let me know because I don't see the telecast on my page. So let me know.
It's on right
Put
now.
your hands up.
Throw your hands up. But yeah, I mean, I gotta go. My fault, guys. I have to pick up my dog. So look what my dog does, right? So I've been cleaning out my pool. I had to freaking get algaecide and all this stuff. So I'm cleaning out my pool. I hate having a pool, by the way. I thought having a pool was great, right? I know it's awesome, but maintaining the pool sucks. Like it's terrible. So now I'm over here cleaning the pool, and my dog decides to go to the yard and eat up my mess that I made back there. So now, I gotta go pick him up because his hair, he has a hairdresser, you know what I mean? $105
fancy
every month to cut this moron's hair who does nothing but destroy things in my house. But whatever. When you love your wife, you do stupid stuff like get
of course.
But anyways, Christine.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of nonsense on the internet, I mean, everybody's talking about it. I tried to avoid talking about this. You know what I mean?
Did you?
I did. I really did. I really don't want to talk about it. Like, I really don't. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, we talk about everything, and it's not fair to our viewers not to speak on certain things. So I was like, you know what? Let's talk about it. But everybody's talking about the Claressa Shields versus Remy Ma situation.
Are they though?
Yeah, it's pretty popular. I mean, they've been a lot of shots going back and forth. It's been on the Shade Room. Claressa's on tour. And it's funny because we talked about Claressa doing more and more interviews, and a lot of that is credited to Papoose setting up these interviews, apparently.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So you're giving credit to Papoose for the reason why people want to talk to Claressa?
That's not what I said.
The two-time gold medalist, unified champ?
I'm saying that he's been helping her get bags. These are not my words; these are her words. This is what she said. I didn't say this. She said that. To be honest, and let's be honest, she's not selling out 20,000 seat venues. Let's be completely honest right now. Like Claressa's who she is, but let's not sit here and lie to the people. But she's doing a really good job, and I think Papoose is helping her. But the back and forth has been absolutely crazy between the two. Like, I'm just sitting here like, dude, what's going on? And it's unfortunate because yesterday it hit like a all-time low, because now for the first time Papoose came out and spoke on the situation, which made it even crazier to me because Papoose has pretty much been, he's kind of been to himself about the situation, kind of kept stuff to close to the vest, and it's kind of crazy because it actually goes back to when I used to be involved in battle rap, and actually a lot of the stuff, I'm not that I'm involved, but it comes to me because a lot of these people I've worked with, and a couple years ago, it was alleged that Papoose had beat up her I guess her lover or whatnot at the time, who happens to be a popular battle rapper, whatnot. And Pap never really said nothing about it. There were rumors circulating and things of that nature. People were talking about it. A shade room. What's the girl that got sued by Cardi? She's really good at what she does. I forgot her name, but it's been everywhere.
Yeah, anything to do with like battle rap and stuff, I have no clue. You're the expert on that. Like, I
Yeah.
really don't.
Well, that's pretty much what happened. So, Levon, I try to give a neutral perspective. So, I'm friends with Remy. I'm not necessarily friends with Papoose, but I've actually interacted with Papoose. He's a straight up guy. I mean,
Hmm.
I remember. I'll give you a story. Remy came out of jail. This was maybe
Right.
like a month or two after she came out of jail, and I was on BET, and I had said some things about Remy, but not
Hmm.
negative. I was just like, my artist would battle her and destroy her. She's not built to for this culture.
Right.
I thought it was in a competitive nature, and Papoose, he came out to me and he said, "Listen, he pulled me to the side, stand up guy. He was like, listen, I don't appreciate what you said, blah blah blah. I know it's competition. I know you weren't being malicious, but X, Y, Z." So he's always been very protective of Remy and things of that nature, and whoever he's involved with.
Hmm.
Um, Whatever. Fast forward, there were the rumors of what happened. There was a lot of these rumors going around in the battle rap culture with the with Remy and the individual. They were all, of course, denied, and then
Hmm.
this transpired with that at her event where allegedly Papoose had came and knocked him out, beat him up, and whatever, and basically not ran, but left the venue. Rumors were swirling. Every outlet was picking it up, right? Um, People were denying it. You had like Team Remy denying it. Uh, Papooses people or fans were saying what it was. There were a lot of battle rappers speaking about it. It was really messy. And of course, we all know this brand to be Black Love, which is Remy and Papoose, which was built and was, a lot of people were encouraged by it.
Right.
And it kind of took a really like a south move at that point. Papoose kind of took the high road, didn't really say much about it, said some things cryptically on social media, did not really speak on it, never made a statement. Remy kind of did the same thing. They kind of split. They didn't split. Let me fix that. They actually showed up to an award ceremony, the BT Awards, together, hand in hand. Like if nothing happened. They played the role. They didn't want this thing to go down. As time passed, I guess again, maybe she kept going on with this individual or whatnot. And you know, rumors continued to go and stuff that he came out and said or whatnot, which was the alleged lover or whatnot. And it really came to full circle when Papoose finally kind of moved on. And it happened to be with somebody that we cover, which is Claressa the Goat Shields, right?
Right.
And that's kind of when it went public. So not to her fault, but to her fault. She's the reason a lot of this got out because Remy was very upset. Apparently, what happened was they were seeing each other. This was after all of that stuff transpired. And this, I think, in last July or something like that. And she had seen some messages from Claressa to Papoose. And that's when the Claressa train kind of hit. And at that point, Claressa was kind of denying it. But she's like, you know what? Screw it. What do we got to hide? And they have been out in the open showing their asses off as they should, which I don't.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is this, I understand that everybody that we're speaking of is in the limelight. I mean, yeah, people are gonna know pretty much your business, you know. But honestly, the way I look at it, like I'm not as infatuated as the stories as maybe some people are. I feel like it's, you know, two people that were married and having problems and now are separated and them moving on. And he happened to move on with someone that is in the spotlight. Like you said, he spoke yesterday. He hadn't said anything. From what I hear, I don't know him,
Yeah,
but from people that do know him, they've been interviewed and said things that he likes to be low key and quiet.
yeah,
They both seem happy. It seems as though Remy Ma has, she said they haven't lived together in, I think, 4 years. So this is like nothing that's shocking or surprising. I don't really understand why
Well,
it's a topic.
so let me break it down to why is the topic. Remember, they have not been out in the public about it. Remy and
Right,
Papoose
right.
have
Until
kind of,
recently,
yeah,
until well, when Clarissa and he were being seen
yeah.
together,
And
then it
that's
was out in
when
the
it
public.
kind of
Sure.
confirmed that they weren't together because they
Right.
kind of tried to hide the situation. Now, this is where it gets murky and where kind of Clarissa, I guess, has to take some fault in this situation. Where everybody know, I'm just being honest. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. This is why she has to take some fault because she did address that particular situation. Then this is why Remy got upset. And I've seen it, what she was talking about when she said, they asked her about Papoose, and now it's out in the open. And she says, well, he has to handle the divorce and spoke on the whole situation. That's where I think Clarissa should have just fell back and said, you know what? That's between them. I'm not going to talk about that. And that's what Remy took exception to it. And that's what she stated. She said, yo, you could have just went by that. We all know y'all together. That's something between me and him.
You,
Not saying
you
it's
know,
wrong or right, but that's what led to everything that we got going on now.
as a woman, I'm not going to allow another woman
Yeah.
to dictate to me what I can and cannot say. So now he's my man, and I'm being questioned about
It's
it,
not
and
divorce though.
I'm going to speak my truth,
Mhm.
and I'm going to say what I need to say. I'm
Okay.
not going to consult with the ex-wife or current wife, the separated wife, to see what is okay to speak on or not. So I see what you're saying, but then I also see Remy could have been like, you know what? That's her. That's what she's saying. This is what I have to say. But as a woman, and Clarissa, she is her own boss. She's going to do what she wants to do, as Remy Ma is as well.
Yeah.
There's not another woman that's going to tell her what she can and cannot say. This
True.
is her relationship now. This is her life. This is her
Yeah.
thing now. And she's going to speak on it as she pleases.
Yeah. No. Listen, I hear you, but I think sometimes you have to let things play out before. Because listen, you're saying he's your man, but they're still married. So through law, technically, everything has to be settled. And I think this is why I think she should have not said anything. Because I believe in a situation like that, it can be handled amicably behind the scenes. But once it become public, now it's like a pissing contest. Now it's gonna be, oh, you want to expose me? I'm gonna say this about you, and you're gonna say, and that all is basically because of what you stated on there. That's why I feel as if at that moment Clarissa should have stepped back and just said, let me not speak about this because until that moment, we didn't have any of this. And now, and you got to think about it, they got kids. They got
And
kids at
this
the end
is
of the
this is this is a great discussion, because there are people that feel as you do, that she should not have done this, and then there's people like me that are like, she can say whatever she wants to
day. You
say.
can, yeah.
And I will say this too. And I'm an old head, okay?
Yeah.
I never heard of Papoose. I barely heard about Remy Ma
Yeah.
until all this came up. Now I'm interested in what they're doing and what kind of music they have. And honestly, probably people in the music industry that did not care or know about boxing, now they want to know who this new woman is, Clarissa Shields. So honestly, it's opening up to a whole other fan group, in my opinion.
It
So
is.
whether it was strategic or not, I don't know. I don't
And
know. All I know is both women have the right to say and defend themselves if they feel that they need to do that in whatever manner they choose.
I hear what you're saying, but divorce is a very, very tough thing to go through.
Hey, I've been through it. Trust me, I know.
And especially when you deal with children, especially children that can
I,
understand and see it.
Trust me, I got it.
You
And let me
know,
tell you something. Whoever my ex was with is not cannot tell me what I can or cannot say. So this is where I'm coming from. As a woman, they both have the right to speak their truth
mhm.
and to say what they want to say. And we just sit back and watch it unfold. He's where he is. I wish them the best. I wish Remy Ma and her kids the best.
That
I feel
sounds good, but they are not. That's not what's transpiring. What's transpiring is a mudslinging contest where you have a girl that's probably like 7 years old that has her own phone that can see these things. And
yeah.
I feel
You know
like
what? And you know what? You're absolutely right. And I will say this too.
Mhm.
Both her parents are in the spotlight. Both her parents chose this life.
Yeah,
Okay. Now my kids wouldn't go through as much, and they didn't because I was not in the spotlight. But whenever you sign up for this is something that goes along with it. It is
yeah,
just what it is.
yeah. No,
Some
no,
people
it
care and
is.
some people don't.
It is, and that's why. Listen, and again, I got respect for everybody in the situation, and Remy is my friend. I don't consider Papoose my friend, but I don't consider my enemy. I got a lot of respect for him. I got a lot of respect for Claressa, but I feel like in this situation, I just feel as if sometimes you got to step back and let it play out the way it's going to play out. And when these things happen, it kind of it looks corny. This isn't love and hip hop. You're not getting paid for this stuff. And oops, I'm sorry, I took you off.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, I'm
like,
sorry.
okay, I know you don't like what I'm saying, but you got to put me
No, no, no,
backstage.
no.
What is going on?
No, no, no. I don't
What
have
the
no problem with what
hell?
you're saying. I was
What the
actually
hell?
uploading the images from they were saying. I got a lot of love for Rem. I got a lot of love
Yes,
for
and see
for
that's part of it too. I mean, I'm not gonna deny that there are certain boxers and people in boxing that I'm close to that I actually have a relationship
yeah,
with,
your blood cruffling is
and that I
amazing.
feel what you're saying because I do, and that's your girl. So
Yeah,
obviously you're going to be more defensive and protective with her and her kids. I don't fault you for that. I'm just going to say if you can take that out and you can take a step back
yeah.
and not
Oh,
have any connection with either one,
yeah.
um, we wouldn't be talking about it.
If I no, I mean they're both big black celebrities in this culture.
Very
Black,
successful.
very very successful black women, and especially a movement that was built where a lot of people feel as if black love was built on just pure love and all that. People were very upset about this. There were fans that were in such denial and things of that nature, and there was a reason why Rem wanted to protect that because they did become a brand. But to
Well,
me, I
then
feel
it
as if
just becomes a brand and it becomes a farce. It's not reality. And you know what? The thing about any kind of love, black, brown, white, yellow, whatever, sometimes things just don't work. That is the reality. It doesn't mean that at one time they did not love each other and they were not committed to each
yeah,
other, but
but
sometimes
yeah,
things just don't work. And I think it's better to be honest so that you don't have to carry this facade and keep up the lies to
yeah.
cover things up. And then when something like this occurs, then you want to go back and smooth things over. You know,
No, yeah. I mean, I just feel as if not everything needs to be played out for the media. And
if you're in the spotlight, it is going to be whether you want it or not.
no,
It is. That's
I
just a
hear you,
reality.
but my thing is, like I said, if Claressa would have not said what she said in that interview, I don't think we would get to where we was at yesterday. And I mean, look at these messages. Like it's so sad. Like I'm just like Jesus Christ. Like,
Well, I
but
dare say that you can probably tell Clarissa to calm down and behave, and she's probably not going to listen to you.
no, she's an
Just
alpha.
saying.
She's her and Remy are very similar in the fact that you can't tell them to do anything. They're going
Right.
to
And
say what
and
they
that is
want.
why we love them. And that is why they are in the position with their careers that they are in because they are their own bosses. So
Yeah.
when two bosses clash heads, there are going to be headlines as we've seen.
Yeah, Sheldon, I'm sorry. I had to talk about it because so many, I am Remy is my
I
friend,
know, Sheldon. I
you know,
tried to
but
warn him that
it
this was
just, it
not a
just, it
topic
just,
to be talked about.
it's just something that, listen, it's gonna affect. And listen, they're supposed to be both in the building July 12th at the fight that I have not got my invitation to.
You're invited. I
Christine has not
haven't
got me
even
a
gotten
ticket. I'm
my
waiting.
credentials yet. You're
So
invited.
I'm trying.
Um,
Let me be your assistant. But anyways, listen, I'm a, I just want to see. I would just want to see Pap happy as well as her, but I just don't want to see the extra stuff, man, because of your kids. It's
Turn the
mostly your
TV off.
children. You
Turn
know what I
the
mean?
internet off. Turn it off. It's going to happen,
Are
whether
you?
you like it
Can
or
you
not.
imagine, Christine, if the internet went off in today's society where kids would be lost? Like, come on. Eh, this is. I mean, listen. I get what you're saying. Turn your TV off, whatever. It's not because now it's coming. I want. I don't want to deal with this childish battle rap stuff. But this is what's news right now, and this is what to deal with. This is how I'm gonna end this before I move forward. You know what I mean? I feel like they just need to handle the inevitable. And I think that's basically what Remy and them were going at it. They were debating about who filed divorce or why is it taking so long. handle the inevitable. Let it move on. Let
You
it be
know what?
something
Maybe
that
they're in the
grows from there.
process and we just don't know. They don't have to put everything out there. Maybe
But
Papoose is
they
on the
did.
phone right now.
They did. She just said they even put out the divorce. Let the shit play out. You know what I mean? And just move forward from there, man. And it sucks because this is a situation, a relationship where everything's going to be offensive. Everything's going to be an attack.
I will say this, Norbs, with all due respect, as long as we're talking about it on podcast daily, it's not going to die. So the sooner that we stop giving it attention, the sooner they can go back, have their private life as much as they can, and figure things out.
Yeah. You
And
know
I
what?
wish them all the best. I really do. Both ends, both sides.
It's getting ugly, man. He was saying he wrote all his songs, hit records. It's getting ugly. My thing is this: get divorced, don't tear each other down, and just move on. That's my thing. Do not tear each other down because at the end of the day, you're gonna regret some of the things you said,
Sure, in a
and you
perfect
can't take
world,
them back.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? I just want to see both Papoose and Remy happy. Whether Pap is with Claressa, he looks extremely happy. Claressa looks like she's
She does.
shining. I
Yes.
love to see it. I want to see Remy get the same thing. Love
Mhm.
Rem, love Pap. You know what I mean? Love Claressa. Eh, Let's not entertain the buffoons that want this for views. That's
No,
all I'm
I'm
saying.
not.
Moving forward, and we can't get enough of this guy. I
So
think
Ryan and Devin, can you give us any update? Is that the direction you guys want to go now?
No, that's not the direction we want to go. Zero whatsoever. So I actually, I'm going to sit down with Ryan. I sat down with him already,
Yeah.
and he's in great spirits. We're actually looking forward to the future, and we're just going to nail down exactly what the plans are going to be, and just put it in play.
You guys thinking maybe a rematch with Rolly?
Well, as a fighter, speaking to you as a fighter, not a promoter, that's exactly what I would do.
Man. This story gets better and better every day. I don't even know if Oscar has an option at this point for this fight to go down. I think Turkey holds all the cards. I think Turkey is livid at what he witnessed at Fatal Fury, and he might not say it, but immediately said he'd like to see Devin and Tio. Why is that? Why not Devin and Ryan?
Mhm.
Oscar's in a tough spot right now. He's got to listen. I think
He is.
Bill is in a tougher spot than Oscar because I think, I mean, I'm not above tough spots. Let me not even say that. Ryan, he looked like shit. I
Yeah.
mean, he looked terrible. He lost to Rolly in a way where it wasn't even competitive, to be honest. It really
Right.
wasn't competitive.
Yeah, agree. Agree.
Off
You
of
you
a
you know, you
1 year
said
suspension. Yeah.
Bill and uh 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 freaking De La Hoya
Devin.
are in a tough spot. I honestly think that Bill is in a tougher spot, and I'll tell you why. Even though his son won, his son looked like shit. A lot of
Terrible.
people were saying that that was his strategy. Maybe it was his strategy.
No.
Maybe his strategy was to box more, to move. He ended up, running a circle and probably putting a permanent, mark in the ring. But I do think that he is in a tougher spot because right now people don't expect much from Ryan. But the way that Bill speaks about his son, people are going to want to expect something different. Whoever he fights next, they're going to want to see something different. Because if this was part of the strategy, just to fight Ramirez, what is his strategy going to be when he faces somebody else? And is it going to be different? So honestly, I think Bill's in a tougher position, in my opinion.
It's tough to say. So let me add to your point. I mean, this is where Turkey comes in. He's in a tough
Yeah.
position because Turkey's like, I'm not going to pay you bullshit for you to give me bull. I'm not going to pay you
Oh yeah.
great money for you to
Don't
do what you
blame
just
him.
did. So if you're going to fight, you're going to fight Tio, which I don't believe he can beat Tio. I
Yeah.
don't. Not the and if he does fight the way he's used to fighting, he may be in trouble because he's going to put himself in harm's way.
Right.
And that's what he's going to need to do in order to continue to get paid because the way he fought against Ramirez, Turkey is going to cut that check and say, get out of here.
Yeah, it
He
was
had
horrible.
trouble getting a fight, and this is a fact. They said they were suing Oscar De La Hoya for unjust enrichment and saying that their value dropped. This is not me saying this.
No,
This is
yeah,
what you
no.
guys filed.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so,
Absolutely.
so,
And do
yeah.
you think, I mean, the thing is too, is that Turk sees everything on the internet. He's on Twitter X like every day.
And Turkey's the only one that was willing to cut the bag that you liked.
Exactly. And he's seeing that maybe even a second fight with whoever is going to be such a risk, because a lot of people are just like, I don't even want to see him again on TV.
And I feel like, and listen, I mean, Turkey is not one to throw rocks and hide his hand. I think he did the same thing with Berlanga, with Cherise, basically putting him as bait to move on against Cherise Canelo. I think he's doing the same thing. He's like, look, if I can get this guy to go out there and destroy Devin, then either Devin forced a fight or I get him out the picture and that's it. I lost money, but now I at least got Tio. And but I think Devin is, that situation is fucked up because they want him to perform. And mentally, I don't know if he's there. But on the flip side of this,
he's not.
Flip side of this, Ryan Garcia is under a lot of scrutiny because of the way he performed year after being suspended for Osterane and other things that, quote unquote, allegedly came up in the system, right? And now you have to rebuild that. And people are now saying that Ryan Garcia was definitely on steroids. This wasn't the same Ryan. I just received the clip from one of my friends where he's like, look at his interview. Look how he's talking. I'm strong. I don't know if you remember that when he was at the presser versus Devin. To a year later, he just looks like a completely different person. And that Osterane is going to hang over his shoulder until he has a performance that can match what he did against Devin. So to me, I think they're both up, are in a tough situation because I don't even know. And again, I don't want to put this on Ryan. I don't want to say Ryan was guilty. I do believe he was. But how about his confidence without the drug?
For sure. So and see, this is the thing. So whenever Devin fought Ryan, Devin made no adjustments, right? Austrian or not, he made no adjustments. He was running into that hook all night long. Okay, made no adjustments, so they were not prepared to deal with that. Okay, even though they said they were. Okay, then we see Ryan. Okay, we see Ryan, and he also in this last fight makes no adjustments against Rolly. Like he did not have a plan B. He and his corner did not have a plan B or C, as Devin did not either. Nothing has changed. He fights exactly the same, but without the Austrian, obviously.
And of course, with the Austrian, he looked like a Super Saiyan. He looked incredible. He showed, and let's think about the mindset, right? When he went to fight Devin, he showed up. He was ripped. He had no shirt on everywhere he went. This guy, when he fought against Rolly, he was covered most of the time. He didn't want to show his body. His confidence didn't reek. It didn't seem the same.
Let's say this. Let's say, okay, even though he's not on the Austrian, or we didn't know about Austrian, he's still on it and he's facing Rolly. Even though we know that his confidence was not there. Mentally, he wasn't good. That's why he got beat. But even if it was, he still would have gotten beat because he did not change anything in the way that he fights. And Rolly changed. He was prepared for anything that Ryan had to give him. He made so many adjustments. I have never seen him look so freaking good.
But the thing is, people are not going to credit Rolly for that. They're going to credit the fact that this man,
credit him.
I do too. But a lot of people are going to say, because of the Osterine, because of what he was on, he was a completely different fighter, and that's what made it easier for Rolly.
And you know what? The common, and it's nothing bad with that because I'm a fan, right? But the fans, that's what they see. But people that really just look and see how people perform and how they adjust and what is being said in the corner and how you train and how you move and who you spar, see that even if he was still on Austrian, Rolly would have beat him because he didn't change anything.
No, absolutely.
And I know who Ryan was sparring to prepare for this.
No,
and I know who Rolly was sparring to prepare for this.
I'm with you. But the problem is this: the fact that the Oscar is weighing so heavy on fans.
Sure,
Oscar has to beat that. He has to beat it.
Ryan too. I mean, mentally, if he would have been like, "Fuck, I don't need that," and he would have just done his thing, maybe we would have seen him last a little longer. I don't know, or do a little better.
Oscar has a lot to deal with, especially the fact that Ryan's gonna have to move up and weight. Like I don't think Ryan can crack 140 no more. I think he's gonna have to go to 147, possibly even bigger. And I don't think he can compete with those boys. I really don't. I just
not the way that he is performing. No, not
no.
the way that he has not changed his style in many years. And we can't blame any of the coaches, honestly, because there are some boxers that are uncoachable and they do not listen.
And that's another thing. Who wants to coach him? You left. First of all, Derrick James was very humble to even take him back after leaving him.
Yeah, well, I mean, money also makes you humble. Not that I'm
Yes.
just saying, but
No,
yes,
I
he
hear
was
you.
to take him back because that's his reputation for
No,
sure.
absolutely. But at the same time, it's like I don't think Derrick is hurting. I think he can get big fights. He's had the Charles.
No, he's definitely not hurting.
But I feel like Ryan is in a. I mean, I think he's been in this loop ever since he lost to Gervonta, where he was getting critiqued, called soft, called a quitter, called that. That's what I believe led him to taking the Oscar. I do believe he took the Oscar. Okay. I think that's what led him to take that, to build his confidence, to feel stronger. And now he's back because now they're going to randomly test him from the beginning. He doesn't have that. He doesn't know where to go. I'm scared for this kid because the things he's reverted to cope with the pressures of being a star, the pressures of people wanting you to be great. It's going to be tough to build this kid's confidence up, and I don't think people are talking about that enough when it comes to Oscar. Oscar looked concerned.
I will say this, and this is just all This is just rumors. This is just things you hear. That a large majority of athletes today, boxers today, are on something. Yeah. The thing is, and I don't know that to be true or not. This is the rumor, okay? I'm not speaking facts. I'm speaking rumors. But the people that know how to cycle off at the right time, cycle on at the right time, are the ones that don't get caught. And the ones that don't do, I don't know if that's true. I know none of my guys have or will. Unless they say, hey, we're on PEDS, you're on PEDS, even playing field.
Yeah,
but
I mean, no, I did a research paper on this in college, and I remember doing a research paper, and the things that I ended up finding out were astonishing.
Yes.
For one, if they don't know the drug exists, you can't detect it. So what would happen is there was this guy, I think his name was Bill Romanowski. I don't want to put nothing, I think it was him, but I just want to say allegedly. He said that he was on PEDs his entire career. So what would happen is when one would get outlawed, he'd find one that you couldn't detect.
Yeah.
And you don't think these people understand how to not get detected by these tests. And I think that's the thing that people. I mean, listen, I'm with it. I believe that to be true.
I will say this too, and she admitted it out of her own mouth. So I'm not accusing her, and I don't have to say allegedly because I interviewed her and it is on wax. But Mia St. John. She said that her whole entire career, she was on PEDS. Her whole career.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked.
No, I mean,
I think it happens more often than we know.
No, I'm with you. No, I definitely 100%. Listen, and when you have so much money at stake, people are willing to do what it is. I mean, especially when it comes to boxing. Let's be honest. Boxers don't get paid. The majority, I would say about 99% of boxers make nothing. They have to work second or third job. So you're telling me if they can cycle and get a big victory here, because at the end of the day, you got to think about it. The playing field is not even. You have some people that are with a De La Hoya, that are with a Matchroom, and then you have guys that are trying to get there, so they're working two jobs, working out, doing this, and this guy's only has to he has the best trainers, his dietitians, he has everything. The playing field's not even, so you don't think these guys are willing to say, hey, you know what, maybe, and if you got, so to me, I understand why some of these athletes do it. Ryan Garcia, this was a kid that was lost. I don't think people understand how much scrutiny Ryan went through. And this is not a very mentally strong kid.
Oh, he definitely has, yeah.
When he fought Gervonta, I just remember people calling him a quitter, and he
was broken. Sure,
he was broken, and I really believe that's what led to him doing what he had to do. And not saying it's right, but I understand the choices he made because this is not a very mentally strong kid. And I love Ryan. I'm a
No,
huge
and
Ryan
fans are very unforgiving. I mean, they love
fan.
you 1 second and then they're ready to bury you, call you a bum, and retire you the next.
Yeah.
They are very unforgiving, and especially nowadays with social media, I mean, they see everything. And how do you function with all that negativity around you? Really?
And then and I don't think people want to touch on this either, but this is the facts. But Ryan has he's lost a lot of money off of lawsuits.
Hmm.
He had the incident in the hotel. He had the lawsuit
Yeah.
versus I think Jake Paul's people or Logan.
Well, and
I
his
mean,
endorsements. I
yeah.
mean, he was like the hottest ticket for because he was young and people
Mhm.
thought, he looked like a young Oscar and they thought he was attractive. So he was endorsing tequila and
Yeah.
other things, and now we don't see those things. So
No, absolutely. And that's the thing. I think I think both of these guys are in a heap of trouble. And listen, Devin might be one bad performance from if he gets knocked out of his performance.
yeah,
Who's gonna listen? No promo. He had purse bids that nobody was bidding on.
right,
This is somebody that
right,
he technically doesn't have a loss.
yeah.
So Bill, I get what Bill's trying to do. I love
He's trying to
Bill.
protect his son.
Yeah,
I think honestly he's making it worse for him, but
yeah,
he's doing all he needs to do, all he thinks he needs to do
yeah.
to protect his son. I get
No,
it. As a parent, I get it.
yeah. I mean, man, this is tough between the both of them. I don't know who's worse off right now, but listen, Turkey's not going to Turkey's not making it easy for Devin, especially if it's Tiafimo.
No, I mean that's his money. Like,
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I don't know, man. This. You're pretty good at what you do, Christine. I'm not going to
you
lie.
think so?
Outside of your take on Bud Crawford with Canelo, I think you're very
Uh,
good. You know,
I mean, I kind of like boxing. You know what I mean? I'm a fan. I'm a super fan.
Oh my God, man. I'm going to say it's a 50-50. I'm going to call it a tie between who's worst off right now. I'm not going to lie to you.
Between Bill and Oscar.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm telling you, man. Like
I don't know. I just feel like it's Bill because this is the thing. This is the
two
thing.
broken fighters.
Oscar can find another Ryan out there. Okay, Bill cannot replace his son.
It's a good point.
So it's like it's make it or break it.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan. Man, Ryan is a tough a tough sell right now for me, man. Like,
Yeah.
what is he?
I mean, I'm not paying for it. I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, who's Ryan gonna fight?
Yeah, who is he gonna fight? Who can he fight? Who do we want to see him fight? Really?
Somebody said Rayleigh knows Haney is really one KO away from drinking Guinness by the poolside like Hatton. Sheldon, let me break it down.
Yeah, Sheldon.
Fact or fiction? They had purse bids that nobody was bidding on. That's a fact or fiction for you. You can answer that. Fact or fiction? They sued Oscar De La Hoya for unjust enrichment and put claims in there where they were not getting offers anymore.
And I want to understand his comment. So he's saying, "Hey, HLD," he's saying that he needs to make it, or he's gonna get KO'd. He's one KO away from drinking beer. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah.
Or he's saying that
basically being retired like Hatton was. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay. Yes.
Glad you both caught the reference. No, I'm Sheldon. We love you, Sheldon. Thank you for the support.
Yes,
I really do believe that. I really do believe that. And it's because of what has transpired since the Ryan fight. His value's not there. Bro, if it wasn't for Turkey Al-Asik, right? Who was bidding on Devin?
Correctly.
I said it right?
You're probably the only one that does.
I love that's my uncle. If it wasn't for Turk, who else was bidding on him? There was nobody willing to say, "Hey, Devin, here's $30 million." Yeah, I mean, listen, Oscar came out and said you guys didn't even sell the fight between you two. There was nothing to give.
I know.
I'm just saying. I'm not making this shit up.
No.
I'm telling you what's being said.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So they're both, and listen, Ryan hasn't beaten anybody but Devin.
Right.
I mean, Ryan got put on his back by what's that guy's name? Oh my God, I forgot his name. Then Rolly rocks him. He looks lost. I mean, Ryan leaves his chin up in the air. He goes to 147. You fight Brian
Rolly
Jr.
did him so dirty.
Yeah,
I mean, I love Rolly,
I
so
love
I
it.
was happy. But I
I'm
like
glad
Ryan
too.
too. But I was happy.
I,
It
I
was
just
great.
feel
It was a great win. Great
I just
win.
I just feel as if they're both one loss from being out of boxing, or at least becoming stepping stones.
Yeah. And then
And
always
again,
trying to chase the bag, always going to be ready for that comeback.
the,
And then they're going to find themselves
did you
at the
see
bottom
Bill
of the pit.
Haney put a hit list out there? A hit list? Are you serious, Luke Campbell? Yeah, you're right. I mean, do you want? And he's another one that has to go up to 147. I mean, can he beat Brian Norman? Can he beat Boots? And these are legit questions. This is
They
not
are.
hate.
They
This is
are.
not
They're
hate.
legit. They are.
And what's you think that people are gonna book Devin to run around the ring like that for 12 rounds? You think people are
No.
gonna buy that shit?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is a tough sell if you're one
Very
of those
tough.
two. Eddie Hearn on the purse bid for Haney versus Santa Martin bid at only 1.5 million. That is exactly my point.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's my point.
Yeah.
And that is sad. And if I'm not mistaken, the 1.5 is between the two of them. It depends on the split, right? If I'm not mistaken.
And you know what's really sad? If you had to pick and say, okay, you have to get one of these guys in front of you against whoever, Ryan or Devin, who would you pay to see first? Like if you had to pick, me personally, I'm gonna pick Ryan, even
Yeah, me
though he
too.
lost
Yeah, me
the
too.
last fight. I would rather see Ryan
Yeah.
than Devin,
He's gonna fight.
you know?
Yeah, no, he's gonna fight. He's at
He's gonna at
least
least stand there even if he gets dropped
yeah, and he at
and
least got to
punch
punch
back.
his chance. He at least got to punch his chance.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
1.5 to split. HLD, you
Wow.
are the man. Think of man or woman, I'm not sure. But
HOD, he's a man.
okay, he's the man. 1.5 to split. That was the purse bid.
Yes.
Well, don't sit there and
That's
tell me
crazy.
that Devin's in a great financial situation where people are
Right.
bidding millions upon millions. I'm
No.
sorry, if that was the case, he would have fought earlier.
Yeah.
It's not even about winning for Devin. He has to have an impressive performance next time out. He can't do that with anyone on that list. Listen, he has to fight. He has to look
Yeah.
good. He has to go back to what he
He
did
has
against
to look
Prograde,
good. Yeah.
what he did against Lomachenko. But does he have the mindset to do it? And that fight showed me that he did not. I
Right.
hate when people say, "Oh, that was done on purpose." Him running from a Ramirez. So Ramirez was more dangerous than Prograde. Was he more dangerous than Ryan? I mean, come on, bro. Ain't no way in hell that was the game plan. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
find it
I mean
hard to
that's
believe.
I think that's what they're saying now after the fact. I think if we would have asked before and I know he wouldn't say it publicly, but in his small circles, I'm sure that was not the plan.
No, I mean, come on. Who the hell wants to see that shit? You know what? Let's put Devin Haney versus William Skull. Let them run around and chase each other for 12 rounds. I'm tired of
Ring
that.
around the rosy.
Like, come on. There's no way. And I think Bill's in a tough situation. Ryan's in the but to answer your question, I'd rather see Ryan too. At least
Yeah.
Ryan's not gonna run around for 12 rounds.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
and listen, Bill is in denial, and I love Bill Haney, but he's in denial. That's not helping your son right now. I'm sorry. And then you're gonna put him in there. You're talking about Boots. Boots would kill him. Like he would literally kill Devin. Kill him.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
I mean, and listen, he's coming into the ring at like 170, 165. So can't even make that weight anymore. Is
Right.
it possible he goes to 154? He's gonna really get killed.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I don't know, man. But listen, that Four Kings talk, that's over with. It's
Oh my God. To me, you know what? I'm not even trying to be funny or anything, but that was never even a consideration for me. When I heard that, I was like, come on, who put that narrative out?
Yeah, they did. Had to be.
I mean, that's to me, I was like, really? No.
No. I mean, to be honest with you again, I just don't see. I mean, maybe Bill's trying to cash out. Maybe he's like, you know what, we're going to cash out, and that's it. But I don't see Devin Haney nor Ryan Garcia lasting or being actually headliners in the next 3 years. I don't.
Yeah, and I think, like I said again, as a parent, I see what Bill is doing and trying to do. But the thing is, Bill is not going to get in the ring and fight for his son.
No.
He needs to make sure that mentally his son is going to be built back up because because Devin has a lot of pressure. He doesn't want to disappoint his dad, because one more loss or whatever, I mean, their whole livelihood is going to change. What are they going to do?
Yeah, no, you're right. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to do a short show today, but we're going to answer this last question and we're going to get out of here. Not to digress, but what can we have Christine's opinion on Savannah Marshall versus Shadaysha Green?
Yeah, absolutely. Alexander, like the last performance that Shadaysha Green, I saw really good things. The thing about Shadaysha for me is that sometimes she's so on and sometimes she's not. We know that Savannah is going to bring it regardless. So I'm hoping that, Shadaysha is on point that night because honestly, I want to see her get the W. I really do. I like her. I really like her. I think that a lot of people overlook her, but she does have some real skill. So I'm really hoping that Shadaysha is on that night because I would love to see her get her hand raised. But right now, I'm kind of like at a 50-50 because I'm not sure the Shadaysha that we're going to see. But closer to the fight, I'm definitely going to make a call, which is right around the corner. But to me, this is a great matchup for both of these ladies. And regardless of who wins or loses, this is going to skyrocket both their careers even more.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I will give you guys some bonus shows this weekend. I will be cutting up clips. Make sure you guys subscribe to both our channels, In the Ring with Christine, as well as Norbs Road Network. Definitely to our socials on Twitter. I think is it In the Ring with Christine on Twitter?
Yes, everything is. Punch it in and I'm popping up.
Yeah, and keep pushing us, man. Keep I know we're on people's heels. The show's starting to take off online. We are going to give you as many shows as possible. Support Women Crush Wednesdays on, except for that mean lady. What was her name? Do not support her.
You met your match, Crystal.
Crystal was so mean to me.
She is not mean.
She was so mean. The entire episode, she was insulting me. I want a rematch with her. I want a rematch with her.
She just won't be pushed around, Norbs.
I want a rematch with her. She was very mean to me. But on that note, I'm gonna let y'all rock out. I appreciate y'all. Peace. It's your boy Norbs. It's Christine. We are out of here. I gotta go pick up this dumbass dog. We are out.
Bye.